So things to be grateful for when you have an autistic son. Hey guys, it's Kenyaya. Welcome to my page where I'm trying to just show people another side to me. I took some time off social media and I came back with more of a clear vision of what I wanted to do. And I really wanted to help a lot of women who've reached out to me. I do make mental notes of a lot of the issues that people ask me on my page. And one that always melts my heart is women who feel alone when they have a child with a condition. So my son is autistic, but he's mild. And it didn't start off that way. When people do say that your son's diagnosis can change, it's true, and my son is living testimony of that. So today I just wanted to do just a few things that I can highlight that I think I'm so grateful that my son taught me. One, the world is bigger than what you want it to be. And what do I mean by that? We get so conditioned a lot to, think one way. And then here came my son who, he's made me have to debunk a lot of things. He made me have to debunk where I wanted to go, where I wanted my son to go for school, maybe what activities I wanted him to do. And he showed me that there's a whole other world out there with lots of things that he can do and excel in. My son also introduced me to patience. And it's such a weird thing to say. I was not patient. I was a, person who was used to kind of having things their way, go, go, go. And then I had my son and I didn't know how fast was too fast or how slow was too slow. And my son forced me to go into the backseat of parenting and really recalibrating what I thought and what I saw and what I grew up thinking was what was needed for a parent. It's really hard when you have a child that you cannot initially connect with, because that's how we found out my son was autistic, right? He had no eye contact. He didn't want to be held. He just wasn't interested in group settings. He just didn't need anyone around him. And I remember thinking that it was such a void and really saying to myself, how am I ever going to bridge this gap between me and my son, right? And then when he started to get better, if I tell you the most important moment in your son's autistic journey is the day he does kind of just make eye contact with you and does cuddle. Now, everybody knows my son loves cuddles, and that's how I love it. But there was a time when that void was there. So he made me appreciate just intimacy and love from your kids. Your kids hugging you and being around you and wanting to be around you actually does make you feel good. My son made me appreciate the value of money, because you need money to get some of these things done. You do. We can try to be nice about it, but the crude reality is we need the money. We need the money. We need the money. My son also taught me forgiveness, because when I was initially going through my son's treatments and all of his whatnots, I really felt like I was really going through a lot of it alone. Not a lot of people related, and I think I was really angry, like, you don't know how hard it is for me to have to do this. No, don't compare my situation to your situation. But then, when my son started getting better, I really got to a point where I was like to myself, you know what? You do have to forgive people, because people only do what they can in that time and in that moment. And a lot of moms, you're having to just get on with it. Our time is not now to rest. It's just to keep pushing on. So keep doing that for your babies. My son, in a lot of ways, also taught me acceptance, because he has his own things that he does, and you just actually have to accept them, and he's not willing to budge. And they might not be the things that you want all the time. Some of the things are annoying, but you get to a point where you realize that maybe you do have to buy something green and something red, and that'd be okay. Not everything has to be the same, and the same treatment doesn't particularly lie across all scenarios and all kids. So sometimes just accepting and taking time to really digest that, okay, this is what he's saying. This other route is maybe easier for me, but what's the value in actually what he is saying? I'll say from the bottom of my heart, I'm also really grateful for my son, because I just don't even know where he's going to take me in the world. And I'm excited about that. Before I was scared to be like, no, but this is the normal procedure. This is what's supposed to happen. Now this comes along and it changes everything. What's going to happen now? And I think my son's just kind of made me accept that, you know what, who really knows what tomorrow holds? Who really knows what next week will hold? Okay, if other people are doing things one way, it's okay. They're doing it that way. Maybe they're going to get to their, end result differently, but it doesn't mean that your journey isn't as important. So I think what I want to say is, when it comes to your kids overall, our kids teach us a lot of things that we really, really do need to be grateful for. Sometimes when you get the initial diagnosis, you're taken aback and you're like, what is this? How do I deal with this? Because we're not built with the tools and the know-how. But I always encourage moms that if you go through the process, if you seek kind of like strength in what you're going through, even if you're by yourself, don't. I know we want people to be there with us and for us, but sometimes just saying, okay, it's me and my child, and that's what we're doing right now, and that's what we're trying to get through. You learn so much, and you just become such a more well-rounded person. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'm really grateful for the package that God gave me. I'm really grateful, and I think a lot of the treatments and a lot of the process that your kids will take you through, the correct heart and the correct approach will make that road easier or harder for you. So a lot of moms, I want to come to you today and tell you, have a heart of gratitude when it comes to your kids and their conditions.